requested to kindly rise. Soma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Lead us from unreality of transitory existence to the reality of the eternal self. Lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of spiritual knowledge. Lead us from the fear of death to the knowledge of immortality. A very warm welcome to the august gathering. On behalf of Maharaja Aghasen Institute of Management Studies, Department of Law, I, Afira Imam, 4th year law student,
and I, Aditi Nair, 2nd year law student,
take immense pleasure in welcoming you all to the valedictory ceremony of this prestigious 12 days mega event of Mains 6 Justice J.S. Verma Memorial, ADRF Client Counseling Competition and Navitas Law Fest 2026.
We are honored today to have amongst us distinguished dignitaries on the dais. We have with us Honorable Mr. Justice Jitendra Kumar Maheshwari Sir, Judge, Supreme Court of India as our chief guest. We are also honored to have amongst us Ms. Shubhra Verma Ma'am, daughter of Honorable Justice J.S. Verma Sir, to grace the occasion with her benign presence. Dr. Nand Kishore Garg Sir, Founder Chairman and Chief Advisor, MATES, Chancellor, Maharaja Aghasen University, Himachal Pradesh, Valli, Shri Vineet Kumar Lohia Sir, Chairman, MATES.
We also extend our gratitude to the esteemed trustees and revered members of management of Maharaja Aghasen Technical Education Society, Professor Dr. Rajni Malhotra Dhingra Ma'am, Director MAIMS, Professor Dr. Praveen Kumar Gupta Sir, Head Department of Law, MAIMS, Directors, Deans and Heads of all departments, faculty members, all the legal enthusiasts, our esteemed collaborators, sponsors, participants and our dear students present here today. Your unwavering support has been instrumental in bringing us this far.
Saraswati Namastubhyam, Varade Kamarupini, Vidyarambham Karishyami, Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. It is believed that one's chariot of life is driven by the two wheels, academic strength and blessings of the divinity. The chanting of Saraswati Vandana removes any obstacle that may drive in the way of one's success. To honor the same, we therefore invite all the dignitaries for lighting the lamp, as we remember and pray to the goddess through Saraswati Vandana.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we move forward with the festivities, it is important that we take a moment to acknowledge and extend our deepest gratitude towards our esteemed dignitaries who have graced us with their kind presence here this evening. We would request Dr. Nand Kishore Garg Sir, Founder, Chairman and Chief Advisor MATES, to kindly felicitate our Chief Guest, Honorable Mr. Justice Jitendra Kumar Maheshwari Sir, Judge Supreme Court of India, with a sapling, shawl and a curated collection of books authored by our Founder, Chairman Sir as a token of gratitude. We request Shri Vineet Kumar Lohia Sir, Chairman MATES, to kindly felicitate Honorable Mr. Justice Jitendra Kumar Maheshwari Sir with a memento and a small token of respect from the MATES Parivar.
As we further unfold the blogs of this evening, we would like to invite Professor Dr. Praveen Kumar Gupta Sir, Head, Department of Law, means, and also the faculty convener of the 6th J.S. Verma Memorial, ADRCC and Navitas Law Fest 2026 to present the introductory remarks for this evening.
Welcome everyone in this NDMC hall. I feel immense pleasure and really all of us feel honored with presence of Honorable Mr. Justice Jitendra Kumar Maheshwari. I also feel pleasure and welcome Honorable Dr. Nand Kishore Garg sir, Founder and Chief Advisor, MATES. Honorable Sri Vineet Kumar Bhaiya ji, Chairman, MATES. Welcome, sir. Honorable Sri T.R. Garg sir, General Secretary, MATES. Welcome, sir. Honorable Sri Mohan Garg ji, Joint General Secretary, MATES. Honorable Sri Rajneesh Gupta ji, Joint General Secretary, MATES. And our most admired and beloved, our Director, MAINS, Professor Dr. Rajni Malhotra Dhingra ji, under whose able leadership, we are celebrating continuously 6th times this national level event, MAINS National ADRCC and Navitas Law Fest. This is 6th edition. So it's a great honor for all of us, equally for faculty, for our students. Details would be given by our faculty co-conveners. To summarize, in this event, sir, we have 4 competitions in ADRCC segments, that is mediation, negotiation, arbitration and client counseling. And we have 11 competitions, mostly of academic nature, that comprise in Navitas the Law Fest. Sir, specialty of this year's Navitas is introduction of Hindi moot court competition. That along with English moot court we have started and we received good entries, and next year we have set a target thrice to this year for entries. Then another specialty of this year's Navitas is to introduce CIRP competition, that is touches the area of Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016, and that motivates and nurtures our student towards a new area of advocacy, that is corporate advocacy, which have great scope in this area. So we have received a handful of 24 entries and all the participants were very excellent. Then sir, this year we have also connected 2 things together which are very much important, history and the latest knowledge of law. That we conducted Just Quest, that is history quiz, legal history and constitutional history quiz, and around 300 participants participated in that. And side by side, we also conducted constitutional law quiz and also received 300 entries in that. So this year's Navitas, we have these specialties and around 1,000 participants totally joined this event and fight it very excellently. So that would come in the segment of prize announcement, and that faculty conveners will narrate all these things. So today, this event is to conclude this 10 days long event. It started on 13th March with the online inaugural ceremony, then 3 days of online events throughout the participants which situated at distance throughout India. So we opted for conducting online events. Now, on 23rd of March, there were finals of ADRCC in our campus, and we invited the reputed retired judges of the High Court and seasoned Supreme Court advocates, some of whom present today also and gracing the occasion, sitting in front of us. So it's our fortune that the entire judiciary and the senior advocates are always available for our students, and I am sure that coming generation of our students would be excellent. I am an optimistic person, and I also promise that with next editions of this event, we would achieve more heights. So with these words, I would like to take my seats. Welcome and thank you very much.
We extend our deepest gratitude to Sir for his wonderful introductory remarks. John Maxwell has rightly said, "A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way." With these words, now we invite our esteemed director, Professor Dr. Rajni Malhotra Dhingra ma'am, who has always been a pillar of Mains, to deliver her welcome address.
A very good evening to Honorable Mr. Justice Jitendra Kumar Maheshwari, Judge, Supreme Court of India, who readily accepted our invitation despite his very busy schedule. Lordship, it speaks volume about your dedication towards students in particular and society in general. I am indebted to you for accepting our invitation, and I wholeheartedly welcome you, sir. I also welcome Ms. Shubhra Verma, daughter of Justice J.S. Verma, for her kind support in organizing this event. Warm regards to Dr. Anandkishore Garg ji, Founder, Chair and Chancellor, Maharaja Agri Singh University, Baddi, under whose able guidance NAC A++ accreditation has been achieved by Mains. I also welcome Shri Vaneet Kumar Lohia ji, Chairman Mains, Shri T.R. Garg Sir, General Secretary Mains, Shri Rajneesh Gupta ji, Shri Mohan Garg Sir, Joint Secretary Mains, and all other revered members of our trust, directors, HOD of various departments, faculty members, my dear students and participants. On behalf of Mains, I extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to each one of you. My dear participant, the motto of Mains or Mains is Nation First. This very spirit of Nation First find a powerful expression in our Kulgeet. The mention of Desh Pratham is a call of responsibility. It reminds us that as a member of this institution, we have to be the torchbearer of a legacy that demands excellence, courage, and moral integrity. Moreover, as India is committed to become skill-based society, so as an institution, we consider us duty-bound to provide a platform to the student to sharpen their skill and provide them with the best of the opportunity to make them ready for the outer world. Additionally, I firmly believe that the present decade demands a shift from content-driven learning to a more skill and purpose-driven model rooted in our traditional values. Our breakthrough achievement, be it earning the highest NAC grade, good NIRF rank, expanding our academic programs, or integrating digital learning ecosystem, are not just institutional victories, they are unwavering promises that the generation to come will inherit an environment that inspires them to dream bigger and fearlessly. To develop the logical and argumentative skill of our youth, we are regularly organizing alternative dispute resolution competition, client competition, counseling competition, moot court competition, and moot trial competition. This event has saw the huge response as informed by HOD of this department, that around 1,000 of entries we have received. Society is complicated, short-tempered, hence the contradiction and conflict are bound to happen. And we are aware that judiciary is overburdened, so alternative measure to solve the dispute in a satisfactory manner has become the need of the modern complex world. Realizing this, we as an institution feel as duty bound to train the student in these areas too. My dear participants, I appreciate the commitment that has been shown by all of you. You have demonstrated commendable preparation, resilience, and the ability to articulate complex legal issues with precision and clarity. I appreciate you for taking up this challenge and contributing to the vibrancy of this competition. Regardless of the outcome of this competition, each one of you is the winner, as the hard work you put for preparing for this competition definitely enhances your determination to achieve more. Remember always, Karmanevi Sansiddhi. It means merely wishing or dreaming is not enough. We must take action and remain consistent in our efforts to achieve excellence in life. Always remember, the failures are not barriers. They are stepping stones. They push us to grow, to motivate, and to rise stronger. I also appreciate the meticulous planning, hard work, and dedication of the organizing committee comprised of Dr. Parveen Kumar Gupta, Ms. Kashni, Dr. Abhilasha, Ms. Hina Mungia, Dr. Malika Tosha, and the student volunteer team led by Aditya Pratap Singh, Sanchita, Kunal, Anmol, Kanika, Mukul, Shreya, Nitika, Simran, Karthik, Saloni, and many more. These volunteers have put their efforts day and night to organize this event, and I appreciate the effort of all of you. You have ensured the seamless execution of this event. Today, as we celebrate the valedictory ceremony of Justice J.S. Verma ADRCC competition and Navitas Law Fest, I urge all of you to learn from the life of Justice J.S. Verma and embrace hard work, honesty, and integrity as the mantras for your success. Let us commit ourselves to work diligently towards our goal, knowing that every step forward is a step closer to achieving greatness. Once again, I warmly welcome Honorable Mr. Justice J.K. Maheshwari ji. Sir, I am indebted to you for gracing this event. I would conclude now my address with these words: discourage litigation, pursue your neighbors, friends, and family to compromise whenever and wherever they can. Thank you. Jai Hind.
We are profoundly thankful, ma'am, for your unwavering guidance and motivating words. कानून का शासन ही सच्ची स्वतंत्रता है. Ladies and gentlemen, we are extremely delighted to have with us our chief guest for the day, Honorable Mr. Justice Jitendra Kumar Maheshwari sir. Enrolled with the State Bar Council of Madhya Pradesh, sir practiced extensively in civil, criminal, constitutional, service and tax matters, and also served as an elected member of the MP State Bar Council. Sir was appointed as an additional judge of the Madhya Pradesh High Court in 2005 and became a permanent judge in 2008, contributing significantly to judicial administration through various committees. In 2019, Sir was appointed the first Chief Justice of the newly established Andhra Pradesh High Court and later served as Chief Justice of the Sikkim High Court in 2021. Elevated as a judge of the Supreme Court of India on August 31, 2021, Lordship reflected a distinguished journey marked by dedication, integrity, and judicial excellence. So now we request you to kindly address the gathering with your inspiring and enlightening words.
Good evening, everyone. I have some little sore throat. Please excuse me. In this today's event, Dr. Nandkishore Garg, founder and chief advisor, Maharaja Agrasen Technical Education Society, and Chancellor, Maharaja Agrasen University, Shri Vineet Kumar Lohia, Chairman, Maharaja Agrasen Technical Education Society, Sri T.R. Garg, Sri Mohan Garg, Rajneesh Gupta ji, Dr. Rajni Malhotra Dhingra, and Praveen Gupta ji, and above all, Mrs. Shubhra ji, Daughter of Justice Verma. First of all, prior to starting anything, simultaneously, I will say, former judge of DRT, dear advocates, respected faculty members, academicians, dear students, participants, gracious ladies and gentlemen. First of all, when I start myself, first I pay my homage to Honorable Justice, former Judge J.S. Verma sir, to whom I always thought in my mind as a tiger, because my Guru always treated him very high pedestal, and my Guru was also of the same way, Justice Lahoti, who everybody knows. So this competition on ADR and client counseling by Neritas, I can say that it is apt on his functioning. Friends, in these days, I am dealing with the Supreme Court Legal Services Committee, so I know what is the importance of the mediation. I will explain you one thing. I always remind one thing, whenever we go in Dwapar Yuga, you remember Ram Ravan Yuddha. When it started, then Rameshwar Sthapana was there, Bhagwan Rameshwar ki Sthapana hui. After that, when this war has to be done, the Jamban is said to be the oldest person of this world. Jamban advised to Lord Ram. What was the advice? Advice was, prior to going for a war, there must be a proposal for mediation. And at that time, Angad was sent for the purpose of mediation with Ravan. Proposal was sent, not accepted. Second example, when we go to Treta Yuga, Mahabharata Yuddha has to be done. At that time, you know the story that when Duryodhana and Yudhishthira visited to Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna was sleeping on the cot. Duryodhana sitting on the head side, Yudhishthira sitting on the leg side. When we woke up our eyes, what we see, first we see wherever we are sitting. So first the Lord Krishna visualized Duryodhana. All this has been done. At that time, Duryodhana asked for all worship, complete Sena unka leke. Then Lord Krishna asked Yudhishthira, what do you want? Yudhishthira said, I want you. And Lord Krishna wanted you. And at that time, when prior to starting the war, Lord Krishna himself visited for that mediation in between this Kaurav and Pandavas. I was thinking, this thought process of mediation was since long. Both examples brought me to a stage to thought why it became unsuccessful. What was the reason whereby this mediation could not be successful? In my thought process, I find myself 2-3 answers. Number one, you see both sides who went in a Dwapar Yuga, Angad, and what was the perception in the mind of the other side was, he is the person who is coming from the opposite side, and whether the proposal which is being made, how far this proposal can be acceptable or not acceptable. So, number one, fairness and independence. Number two, bias. And number three is confidentiality. The opposite group always thought, the person who is coming from the other side and he is coming with this proposal, how far it is confidential, there will be something different, because they are stepping upon the shoes of the war. This both situation, because Lord Krishna was with Yudhishthira at that time, this was the situation. But it is not relevant. Why it is not succeeding? Thought process is, prior to going for any litigation or any warship, what is required? The mindset is required, and that mindset was in the minds of that time of the people. When I think about what is the reason of the dispute, when the disputes happens, I thought it, when there is a breakdown of alignment between expectation and the outcome. Breakdown of alignment between expectation and outcome, one, and between perception and reality, number two, and number three, where the parties each convinced that their own truth, convinced by their own truth, then there is a conflict. This is thing. And the dispute is always between two, no other. When such is there, then what can be done? Then we decide what is righteousness, what is right. You see Supreme Court motto, what is this? Yato dharmas tato jayate. And righteousness is to be decided resembling with dharma. And what is dharma? Is it a dharma that we should go for something which is not of yours? Is it dharma that we have to achieve something which is for which you are not entitled to? Is it dharma that you can get something by deceiving others? Is it dharma by fighting something you have to get something? No. Whenever this is there, then the dispute arose. What is an element of three elements? I thought it. At that time, if we have a fairness, if we have a balance of thought process, and third is, if both these things with a moral alignment you have, I thought the situation may not arise. Anyway, suppose this situation arose, then what is the ways and means? The ways or means, as I put an example, since beginning, it was first go with a mindset how we can resolve it. Adjudicatory mechanism can give you adversarial litigation, we can say, can give you a judgment and orders. Parties may say the justice done with one, but another will always object of it. question is whether resolution is better or a decision is better. So when we thought of this, suppose we go for a resolution, then we always find the resolution is better. Why? Because in a resolution, number one, you are not in dispute with other. Number two, you are not wasting your valuable time. Number three, you have good relation with other. And number four, whatever you can achieve at the 11th point of time, save your energy and utilize for a right thing and for a righteousness whenever it comes in future. So when we go to all these things, then this was a recognition. If I go, coming to the recent perspective, if we see the recent perspective, then initially everybody do have a trust and confidence on our judicial system, and they go. Unlike if you have something, you'll go in the court of law, you'll get something, court will give a justice with us. When cases have been piled up, number of the cases were more, people's educated, their rights, they go for fight to their own rights, number of the cases increased. At that time, the name was given alternative dispute resolution. And when this was given alternative dispute resolution, then in alternative dispute resolution, so many things have come. This is for first time by way of a judgment of the Supreme Court, and thereafter it has come the amendment to the Code of Civil Procedure 1989. Though the previous procedures were there of arbitration. This arbitration theory came from panchayats. So if we look into the back history and legal history of that, then it is always there. But if we see the alternative dispute resolution, then 4 situations have been found in that: mediation without any procedural formalities, having a free mindset, without any rigid legal propositions. If you go and understand and apprise the other side by a impartial person must be impartial and he can advise of this, then this is a mediation. On the point of mediation, I see what is happening in these days. I put an example. In these days, the family litigation is increasing too much. Under the family laws, whatever, Hindu Marriage Act or other act, conciliation prescribed. Conciliation is first time is please apprise both. What are the litigation, how it can be conciliated, can it be reunion? Conciliation, one of the part of that. Conciliation recognized even at appellate stage in those litigations also. So this ADR is conciliation is one of the mechanisms therein. But I am talking about a mediation. When we talk of a mediation, then in that mediation I am conveying you a scope of that mediation which may come, because now the mindset of the people is going towards resolution and what may be a concept and what may be a proficiency therein. I put an example. Suppose a case which is of the commercial in nature, and in that case, 2 parties fighting. A person who is a mediator thereof, he knows about that perfectly, subject about that, and he knows the niceties of that factual aspect. He can understand by study and legal proposition. In both these things, that particular commercial law he knows, and if he apprise both the parties, this is factual, this is there. If you apprise this, law says this, you may be in problem, and by mediation it can betterly be resolved. What I want to point out is, in future, I am telling you, the mediation would be subject-wise, the mediation would be by the proficient persons on the subject. So this is now mediation is going towards a proficiency basis, and it may be one of the mode. Another is conciliation, third is arbitration. Arbitration, you can see there are sea change. Slowly from 1940 Arbitration Act, now we are coming 1996 Arbitration Act with several amendments, if you look into. And if we apprise this, why these amendments have been brought, why 1940 Arbitration Act going to be changed, and why this 1996 Arbitration and Conciliation Act has been brought, then we gone from that ancestral laws. Why their arbitration means other countries, why this arbitration is popular. The first and foremost, I can say, it gives a party autonomy to the parties, meaning thereby you have to choose your own procedure, you have to choose the arbitrator who may be your arbitrator, and you have to choose the decisions on the basis of facts by that arbitrator which you have opted. Again, the question which is coming, if we see the perspective of India, then Section 5 says of Arbitration and Conciliation Act that interference by the notwithstanding anything contained and so and so. Section 5 says interference by the court should be minimal. And now we are going to that procedures. Several judgment is coming. I will not explain in this stage because. So what I am conveying you at present is the arbitration is another preferred mode, and once it is a preferred mode and everybody is looking towards globally towards India, and I can tell you the India is one of the opted arbitration hub, except some things that may come, that will go on. So this is another proficient situation. And when we go to arbitration, now the new law section 30 of Arbitration Conciliation of Ancestral Law says arbitration, mediation, arbitration. Refer to the arbitration. If it is party says no, we'll go for a mediation, we'll go for a mediation and come back for arbitration if it is not settled. Same is the situation for conciliation. So now, one question I am posing to everyone now. This is alternate dispute resolution. What we are saying, is it really an alternate dispute resolution? Or I say it is an appropriate dispute resolution. So when we go for a resolution, then ADR may be treated as an appropriate dispute resolution, because for the resolution it is too appropriate, but for adjudication, when we thought of it, then we have to go in the courts, we have to go for interpretation of everything, we have to go in the constitutional courts, but when there is a dispute, we have to go for that. And now if we look into this scope, then this competition or type of this competition, I feel it is one of the appropriate stages. I will not say it's a good, it's an appropriate stage, and we have to thought for always for the resolution first, then we have to go for adjudication. With this thought process, I will convey all the best to everyone and all the best to participants and all the best to the winners as well as to the losers. Say to the losers, whosoever it may be, they are not the loser, they are the winner. Because, why? Because they can learn something, whatever they have not thought it, when they have come to this competition, they have learned that much, and you will learn more in future, and you will learn more to others also. So you are not a loser, you are also the winner. Thanks to everyone, and thanks for inviting me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your wealth of experience and enriching us with your remarkable knowledge. Coming together is beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success. Aligning themselves to these lines are our student conveners, Sanchita Thakur and Aditya Pratap Singh, conveners ADRCC, Kunal Sharan and Anmol Singh, conveners Navitas, third year law students, who will now take up the stage to present their experiences for the event Means 6th Justice J.S. Verma Memorial, ADRCC and Navitas Law Fest 2026.
At the outset, I wish to begin with gratitude by invoking the name that reminds us of balance, grace and purpose. Jai Gaur, Shri Radha Ramno Vijayate. May our words reflect clarity and our thoughts remain anchored in truth.
Good evening, everyone. Standing here today as the convener, I, Sanchita Thakur, find this moment both humbling and rewarding because for me, this moment is actually very personal. I can't help but go back where this all started. I still remember being a volunteer, just trying to figure things out, observing everything, doing whatever work was given, and honestly, just hoping I was doing it right. From there, becoming an event coordinator, handling responsibilities for the first time, making mistakes and learning on the go, and slowly understanding that what it actually takes to make something work, it truly feels a little surreal. There's a quote by APJ Abdul Kalam that has always stayed with me. Dream, dream and dream. Dreams transforms into thoughts and thoughts result in action. And I think somewhere this journey is exactly that for me. Something that started really slow and slowly turned into something I'm really proud of today. But I'll be very honest, this was never just about me. My team, you guys have been my constant. The last minute chaos and the pressure, we have seen all of it and somehow, every single time, we figured it out together. And I think that is what makes this so special. Now, to all our faculty members, I don't really think a thank you is really enough. The trust you showed, the freedom you gave all of us, and the way you guided us without ever making us feel restricted, that has made all the difference. We were able to do all of this because you believed we could. And to everyone who has been a part of this event, you didn't just attend, you added to it. You made it what it is today. And now, as we stand here at the end, I don't think this just feels like the conclusion of an event. It feels like something we built, something we handled, and something we will always remember being a part of. Because in the end, this was not just an event we organized. It is something we proved to ourselves what we are really capable of. Thank you so much.
Good evening everyone. I, Aditya Pratap Singh, convener, ADRCC. For me, this was never just an event. It has been a journey. At times, it was demanding. At times, it was uncertain, but always meaningful. There were moments when things fell into place, and moments when they did. There were doubts whether we would truly meet the expectations. But despite everything, we kept moving forward. Coming from Mathura and being a part, something at this scale pushes beyond your comfort zone. You learn to adapt, you learn responsibility, and most importantly, you learn to stand firm. To my team, we faced challenges, pressure, and last-minute chaos, and still we showed up every single time. To our respected faculty members, your trust guided us throughout. And to everyone present here, you were not just the participants, you were the part of this journey. As we conclude, it does not feel like an ending, but a step from an experience that has shaped us. And if I leave with one thought, this was never about managing an event, it was about growing through it. Thank you everyone.
Good evening everyone. Standing here today, I am Anmol Singh as the convener of Navitas feels less like reaching a destination and more like understanding how journeys quietly transform us. Last year, I was standing in the crowd as event coordinator, looking at this very stage, imagining this very moment, and today reminds me of what Rabindranath Tagore once said: "You can't close the sea merely by standing and staring at the water." Navitas, for me, was the step into the sea. A step of belief, of effort and of trusting the process. I firmly believe in Gurbani's saying, Vaheguru tu karta, tera kiya sab kuch hoye. I come from a small village, Malekam, where life moves slowly and dreams are often spoken softly. But experiences like this makes you realize what Swami Vivekananda meant when he said, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Over the past few days, Navitas was not just an event or competition or performances. It became a space where ideas found courage, where talent found recognition, and where many of us discovered versions of ourselves we have never met before. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to respected judges, to faculty members, to collaborators, and especially to our organizing team, and the silent strength behind every successful moment. And to all the participants, you did not just compete, you inspired. As we conclude Navitas today, let us remember, events end, applause fades, stage is empty, but experiences stays, confidence stays, and the courage to dream bigger stays forever. Thank you.
A very good evening, everyone. Before I begin, it is my proud privilege to acknowledge and extend a very warm welcome to the distinguished dignitaries gracing the dais today. Along with them, I warmly acknowledge all the respected directors, deans, heads of department, faculty members, and esteemed collaborators and sponsors, and all the legal enthusiasts, participants, and students present here today. Standing here as the convener of Navitas, I find myself caught between two very different emotions. There is a profound sense of accomplishment that we have successfully reached the finish line, but there is also a quiet realization that the journey which defines our lives for the past few weeks has come to an end. Being the convener of Navitas Law Fest at Mainz is a privilege, but it is also a massive lesson in humility. I have learned that leadership isn't about having all the answers. It's about trusting the people standing next to you. To my team, you were the engine behind Navitas. Management, logistics, and discipline. You carried the pressure effortlessly. Finance, PR, social media, designing, and marketing. You brought Navitas to life. Sponsorship, reporting, and decor. You excellence, the vision is in every detail. Thank you everyone for being a steady hand throughout the event. Kudos to our OC for executing everything perfectly, and grateful to the co-convener and convener of ADRCC for their support. As a convener, I couldn't have asked for a better team than this. Most importantly, my deepest gratitude goes to our faculty mentors, Ms. Kashni ma'am, Mrs. Abhilasha ma'am, Mrs. Hina Munga ma'am, and Mrs. Malika Tosha ma'am. Thank you for your presence and providing us the space to lead, to make mistakes, and ultimately to grow. As we conclude the edition of Navitas, the trophies will take home and the banners will be folded, but the resilience and the bond we have built here will remain. It has been a true honor to serve as your convener. With immense pride and gratitude, thank you team. Thank you Team Navitas.
Moving further, here is the small video showing the dedication and hard work of the team members of 6th Justice J.S. Verma Memorial, ADRCC and Navitas Law Fest 2026. Thank you program heads for sharing the beautiful glimpses of the event at a glance with us.
अब मैं महाराजा अग्र सिंह टेक्निकल एजुकेशन सोसाइटी के संस्थापक, मुख्य अध्यक्ष और प्रमुख सलाहकार एवं महाराजा अग्र सिंह विश्वविद्यालय के कुलाधिपति डॉक्टर नंद किशोर गर्ग जी को आमंत्रित करना चाहूंगी। उन्होंने ने बहुत खूब एक बात कही थी कि सफलता जिस ताल में बंद है उसे दो चाबियों से खोला जा सकता है, एक कठिन परिश्रम और दूसरा दृढ़ संकल्प। महोदय एक महान शिक्षाविद होने के साथ साथ सामाजिक कार्यकर्ता भी हैं और दिल्ली विधानसभा के 3 बार सदस्य भी रह चुके हैं। समाज के प्रत्येक वर्ग के उत्थान के लिए वे परस्पर निस्वार्थ उत्कृष्ट सेवाएं प्रदान करते आ रहे हैं। वह भारत प्रकाशन लिमिटेड जो 5 जन्य जैसी पत्रिका प्रकाशित करता है उसके भी निर्देशक हैं। महोदय, आपसे अनुरोध है कि आप अपने आशीर्वचन से सभा को अनुग्रहित करें।
नमस्कार। नवरात्रों की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। कल हमने शहीदी दिवस मनाया और शहीदों के कारण हम आज स्वतंत्र हैं। भारत का अपना कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है और उस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के माध्यम से भारत अपनी यात्रा सफलतापूर्वक पूरी कर रहा है और आगे बढ़ रहा है। इसमें न्यायपालिका का बहुत बड़ा रोल है। न्यायपालिका ने जब जब आवश्यक हुआ देश को सही दिशा में चलने के लिए उसको मजबूर किया, उसको डायरेक्शन दी। और भारत की न्याय व्यवस्था में जस्टिस J.S. वर्मा जी का नाम हमेशा बहुत ही आदर के साथ लिया जाता है, उनकी अपनी योगदान के कारण, उनके अपने चरित्र के कारण। और उनकी याद में ये 6ठी बार हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट ने प्रयास किया है देश के सर्वश्रेष्ठ होने वाले वकीलों को अवसर देकर कार्यक्रमों के माध्यम से, कंपटीशन के माध्यम से अपने आप को सिद्ध करें। उसके लिए हमने जो प्रयास किए हैं उसका आज ये इस साल 2026 का ये मैं समझता हूँ कल्मिनेशन है, जिसके लिए हमारी पदाधिकारियों ने डॉक्टर रजनी मल्होत्रा ढीगड़ा जी को पूरा सहयोग भी दिया और मार्गदर्शन भी दिया। और मैं समझता हूँ कि ऑल इंडिया से इस बार पार्टिसिपेंट 1,000 के आसपास के हमारे रहे। मैं पूरी टीम को, प्रवीण गुप्ता जी, सभी सहयोगियों का और ख़ास तौर पे जो विद्यार्थी इसमें अभी से जो कोशिश करके पार्टिसिपेट भी कर रहे हैं और सीख भी रहे हैं, उन सबको बहुत बहुत बधाई। एक चीज़ मैं हमेशा क्लियर करना चाह रहा हूँ कि हमारी शिक्षा ने और हमारी न्याय व्यवस्था एक ही व्यक्ति द्वारा इस देश पर थोपी गई और वो अभी तक भारतीय नहीं हो पाई है। भारत के संविधान में भी भटनागर जी बैठे लोकसभा में बरसों रहे। भारत के संविधान में भी यदि सरदार पटेल जी अंत में कोशिश ना करते तो उस पूरे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में भारत का ही नहीं था। एक बार केवल इंडिया दैट इज भारत, उसके अंदर भारत की उस आत्मा को प्रवेश कराने का श्रेय मैं सोचता हूँ डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर जी के साथ साथ सरदार पटेल जैसे लोगों को रहा, जिन्होंने भारत की जितना भी महाभारत कालीन से लेके या उससे भी पहले से उन सब चीज़ों को खाली स्थानों पर पूरे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की जो साइडों पे जगह बची हुई थी उस जगह के इस ढंग से यूटिलाइज कर लिया कि उसके अंदर भारत प्रवेश कर गया। इसके कारण से उस संविधान को छापा ही नहीं गया परसों, जिसके अंदर रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर के, नंदलाल बोस जैसे व्यक्तियों का और जिसने हस्तलिखित किया उनका कहीं जिक्र नहीं आया, उनको छापा भी नहीं गया, कहीं लोग देख ना लें, कहीं उसके अंदर भारत की खुशबू ना आ जाए, जिसके कारण से जो एक इकोसिस्टम था इस देश में, जो भारत के पहले शिक्षा मंत्री से लेकर और अधिकांश में रहा कि इस देश को भारत की तरफ ना मोड़ दें। सौभाग्य से अवसर आए, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के वो जो प्रकट हुए वो सारी चीज़ें, और पहली बार वंदे मातरम भी जो 150 साल जिसको हुए उसके गायन के ऊपर भी लोकसभा में अधिकांश को नहीं मिला कि इस देश के पहले INV मंत्री कौन थे। मैं इस सारे उपस्थित लोगों से पूछूं तो पहले इंफॉर्मेशन ब्रॉडकास्टिंग मिनिस्टर कौन थे तो हाथ खड़ा करवाऊं तो शायद 2-4 उठेंगे। क्यों? तो हमने जानना ही ना, इस देश को जानने नहीं देना।
न्याय की मूर्ति पे पट्टी बनी रहे, उसको हटवाने में भी जस्टिस महेश्वरी जैसे लोगों ने पिछले 1 साल में सफलता मिली है कि न्याय की देवी पे पट्टी क्यों बनी रही। बड़ा अजीब लगता है ना, भारत के इस न्याय व्यवस्था में जहाँ मनुस्मृति से लेकर और कितनी स्मृतियाँ हैं, कितने लोगों का योगदान है, जिसमें जहांगीर की न्याय व्यवस्था भी हम देखते हैं, छत्रपति शिवाजी का किसी ने पढ़ाई में कितनी अच्छी व्यवस्थाएं थी। न्याय वो है जो त्वरित हो, दिखना भी चाहिए, उस पर विश्वास भी होना चाहिए और वो होना चाहिए। अगर 5 करोड़ 6 करोड़ मुकदमे हों और एवर इंक्रीजिंग हो, जितने चीफ जस्टिस आते हैं बेचारे कोशिश करते हैं, बोलते भी हैं, परंतु जितने घटाने की कोशिश करें तो मर्ज बढ़ता जा रहा है। मैं दिल्ली का निवासी हूँ, दिल्ली से ही जन्म से लेकर आज तक रह रहा हूँ। मैंने दिल्ली के अंदर जितनी व्यवस्थाएं, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के कारण जितने आदेश आए, अभी लेटेस्ट क्लोज किया है MC मेहता केस, जो पढ़े लिखे लोगों को ध्यान भी होगा तो लगभग 40-42 साल वो केस चला है। हमारे RK गुप्ता जी चीफ इंजीनियर रहे तो इनको मालूम है, 42 साल एक मुकदमा चला दिल्ली को सुंदर बनाने के लिए, एनक्रोचमेंट्स हटाने के लिए, यमुना को स्वच्छ करने के लिए, सीवर ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट अधिक से अधिक लगे इसके लिए। और मैं कॉरपोरेशन के मेंबर से आज तक दिल्ली के कहीं न कहीं जुड़ा हुआ हूँ, एक भी ऑर्डर वो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन लायक भी नहीं थे, हुआ भी नहीं, और इसके ऊपर कौन रिसर्च करेगा। नेशनल लॉ यूनिवर्सिटीज और सारे डायरेक्ट हाई कोर्ट के चीफ जस्टिस हैं, उनके चांसलर्स हैं, क्या ये काम नहीं दिए जा सकते कि कोई आदेश का इस ढंग से लिखें कि किसी न्यायमूर्ति के अगेंस्ट भी नजर ना आए, परंतु आगे के लिए सुधार हो। अगर सीवर व्यवस्था 1 साल में ठीक हो जाए, एक जस्टिस साहब ने आदेश दे दिया, खुराना जी मुख्यमंत्री बने थे, 600 करोड़ रुपए का खर्चा बता दिया, कोई बात नहीं, कर भी दिए। आज भी मुझे मालूम है 4 ऐसे सीवेज ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट बने हुए खड़े हैं जिनके लिए पानी उसे जोड़ने की लाइन, गंदा पानी वहाँ तक पहुँचाने की व्यवस्था नहीं हुई है 1994-95 से। अब से साफ पानी की जब साफ करने के लिए उसमें पहुँचा ही 4, थोड़े नहीं, ऐसे अनेकों उदाहरण। इसलिए क्या माननीय न्यायाधीश महेश्वरी जी कुछ चीज़ें ऐसी और करा दें कि इनकी मॉनिटरिंग हो जाए। आखिर कितने न्याय मित्र हैं, इतने अच्छी अच्छी यूनिवर्सिटीज़ हैं, इतने अच्छे अच्छे कॉलेजेज हैं जहाँ कानून की पढ़ाई, और सारे झगड़े कितने हैं, कानून की सारी लड़ाई जो है वो 3 ही चीज़ों पे तो है, जर जोरू जमीन। कोई चीज़ भी है, वकील साहब बैठे सामने बड़े बड़े, इन 3 के अलावा क्या चीज़ होता है। और उनको रेजोल्यूशन करने के लिए कुछ महेश्वरी जी ने कुछ चीज़ें बताई ना भाई, इन तीनों को इतनी बड़ी वर्क फोर्स है, लाखों एडवोकेट्स हैं, परंतु हजारों इनको एडवोकेट्स को पढ़ाने वाले, उनका उपयोग क्यों नहीं होना चाहिए। उनके पहले ऑनरेरी मजिस्ट्रेट होते बनाए जाते थे शुरू में, उनका उपयोग हो जाए। छोटे मोटे केसेज आज भी पूरे देश का यदि रिसर्च की जाए जो होना चाहिए यूनिवर्सिटीज़ का, कॉलेज से, कि कितने लोग जमानत ना देने के कारण जेलों में हैं, और उनको जितने की जमानत, जितना 10,000 रुपये महीना एक कैदी पर खर्च होता है। तो मैं जेल के अंदर भी रह के देखा, इमरजेंसी में भी बाद में 1-2 बार, कि हमें सरकार का खर्चा कितना है। एक कैदी पर 10,000 से ज़्यादा हर महीना खर्च करते हैं, और हजारों लोग अंदर वो सड़ गए। 80 साल 85 साल के लोग अब क्या क्राइम करें, जो भी जीवन में एक आध हो गया। कुछ पीरियड ऐसे तय किया जा सकता है, लिमिटेशन लॉ और ये दुनिया भर की चीज़ें क्यों नहीं लागू हो सकती। जमानतें देने में या 2,000-5,000 रुपये देने हैं, कुछ चीज़ें थोड़ी थोड़ी शुरू हुई हैं, लिस्ट बनती है, तिहाड़ जेल से आती है, कुछ ऐसे मेरे भी परिचित लोग हैं जो जमानत की राशि जमा करा के उनको छुड़वाते हैं, परंतु क्यों नहीं होना चाहिए ऐसे। इस देश की कानून व्यवस्था को ठीक करने के लिए मैकाले से मुक्ति पाना जरूरी है। और मैकाले से मुक्ति पाने से ही एजुकेशन सिस्टम बदलेगा। एजुकेशन सिस्टम बदलेगा तो हमारे अंदर एक कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा, और हर अच्छी चीज़ को जो हमने, ये तो मनु का नाम लेना ही पाप हो गया जैसे, और फिर छोटी चीज़ पे भड़क जाए। अभी न्यायमूर्तियों ने ही तो कहा था, ये जो यूजीसी का एक छोटी सी अमेंडमेंट, उनके कहने से लागू, और उन्होंने फिर स्टे किया। और इस देश के अंदर जातिवाद जिसको समाप्त करने के लिए बड़े बड़े लोग लगे रहे हैं, जिसको धीरे धीरे कम भी होता है परंतु फिर वो बढ़ जाता है। अभी जो जातिगत गणना की बात है, आप सारे पढ़े लिखे लोग बैठे हैं, यदि मैं आज 5 जातियों के नाम लेके पूछूं तो वो 5 अलग अलग है। सेंसस में वो आएंगी कैसे उनकी क्लबिंग होगी, और वो व्यक्ति आएगी जो पहले 36 जाति हम बचपन में सुना करते थे, फिर कभी 36 से हुई। ये जब वो लागू हुआ था मंडल आयोग, उस समय कितनी थी। रामधारी सिंह दिनकर जी ने अपने अच्छी मोटी पुस्तक लिखी, उसमें शायद 6000 कुछ उस टाइम तक। आज यदि जातियों की गणना होगी तो 2 लाख से ऊपर होगी। मतलब मैं कटारिया नाम लूँ तो आपको कटारिया लगभग हर जाति में मिलेगा। वर्मा जी नाम लूँ तो वर्मा जी लगभग भारत की 4 वर्णों में नाम मिलेगा, एक शर्मा को छोड़। तो कैसे आदमी आइडेंटिफाई होगा? तो हमारे इस देश के जो चाकू रख के मेज पर पास हुए, ग्रेजुएशन कर आए, MLA बन गए, MP बन गए, मंत्री बन गए, और उनको सोचते हैं हमें सब कुछ आता है। और न्यायमूर्तियों के दिमाग में ये आ गया कि हमने जो आदेश दे दिया वो पाई लागू होगा नहीं होगा, इसकी कोई रिसर्च करेगा नहीं। जस्टिस कुलदीप सिंह वाले उसमें मैं इसलिए कि मैं दिल्ली के मंत्रिमंडल में था लगभग, उसको लागू करने के लिए मुख्यमंत्री जो रोज जा रहे हैं, सारी रात जग रहे हैं, और 5000 प्लॉट 5 महीने में डेवलप करके दे दीजिए। क्या फर्क पड़ा? फर्क जब तक नहीं पड़ेगा, इम्पैक्ट क्या होगा? इम्पैक्ट असेसमेंट के तो ऑर्डर कर दिए कि इस चीज़ का क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा, वो लागू कैसे हुआ किसी को नहीं मालूम। इस न्याय व्यवस्था को सुधार करने के लिए अंदर से कोशिश होगी, अधिक से अधिक न्यायालय बने, अधिक बिल्डिंग बने, इसके लिए इतना पैसा नहीं है। और कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, ये जो कमर्शियल वो है, इनको अलग करके अलग ढंग से डील करें। और एक एक जज बेचारा ले रहा 3 लाख 4 लाख मैक्सिमम, उसको रहने की व्यवस्था करने में शायद 10 लाख रुपये महीना खर्च करती हो सरकार, परंतु उसके सामने जो पेश होता है वो एक दिन के अंदर 350 करोड़ रुपए की रिटर्न भरने वाले इनकम टैक्स की पिछले 4 साल से एक व्यक्ति। प्रोजेक्टिव असेसमेंट इनकम टैक्स वाले भी करते हैं, चतुर्वेदी जी, तो मान लेते ना आपने इतना कमाया, तो इनसे राज्यसभा के लिए लेते हैं, उसकी प्रोजेक्टिव खर्चा क्यों नहीं मान लेते कि यार जिसने दिया वो प्रो क्यों है? अगर मेरे को राज्यसभा दी गई और मैंने उनको बचाव करने लग गया, तो ये सारी व्यवस्था सुधारने के लिए बहुत आवश्यकता है। और मैं ये बडिंग स्टूडेंट्स, ये कल होने वाले न्यायमूर्ति भी हैं, अच्छे एडवोकेट्स भी हैं, तो हमारे लिए रोल मॉडल कौन हो? जस्टिस DS वर्मा जैसे लोग हों या जस्टिस यशवंत वर्मा जैसे लोग हों। बाई चांस पिछले साल 9 तारीख को हमारे उस कॉलेज में आए थे, मैंने जो कुछ भूला था वो 15 दिन में वो हो गया था। इसलिए मैं ज़्यादा ना कहते हुए आप लोगों से ये उम्मीद करता हूँ कि अपना रोल मॉडल ध्यान से चुनें। कठिन रास्ते पर चलते हुए आगे बढ़ेंगे तो कठिन रास्ता कठिन ही है। अभी न्यायमूर्ति में महेश्वरी से पूछ रहा था कि रिटायरमेंट के बाद मकान वगैरह के लिए मेरे इतने मीज़ ही नहीं थे कि मैं अभी सोचूँ, अब रिटायरमेंट के बाद सोचूँ। ईमानदारी में तो घर का खर्चा ही चल रहा है ना। इसलिए मैं 1980 का लॉ ग्रेजुएट हूँ, और लॉ ग्रेजुएट भी साइंस का होते हुए इसलिए बनने की कोशिश की थी। इमरजेंसी में अंदर थे जब हम जेल में, तो मैं एक निश्चय किया था कि हम भी काला कोट पहन के राम जेठमलानी जैसे, शांति भूषण जैसे पढ़ने की कोशिश करेंगे। कोशिश उतनी शायद हम नहीं कर पाए, परंतु शिक्षा व्यवस्था में कुछ परिवर्तन हो ये तो सब कहते थे, परंतु हमने जो कुछ सीखा था डॉक्टर केशवराव बलीराम हेडगेवार, जिनके स्थापित संघ को 100 साल हुए हैं, और जो कुछ हमने स्टडी की थी उसको कोशिश की है जीवन में उतारने की। और 10,000 विद्यार्थियों के माध्यम से दिल्ली में और 4,000 विद्यार्थियों के माध्यम से हिमाचल प्रदेश में और पूरे देश में 1 लाख से ज़्यादा एकल विद्यालयों के माध्यम से शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में क्या होना चाहिए वो बताने की कोशिश की है, वो लाने की कोशिश की है। आप सब उसी राह के राही हैं। हमारे 200 ट्रस्टी हैं जो बिना किसी स्वार्थ के, स्वार्थ एक ही कि मेरा देश अच्छा रहे, आगे बढ़े, और इस देश को जो नेतृत्व बहुत दिनों बाद मिला है कि जिसकी कुछ अनुकरण किया जा सकता है, उस अनुकरणीय नेतृत्व को जितना हम अधिक सक्षम करेंगे, अपने आप को जागरूक करेंगे और देश के प्रति जो हमारा राष्ट्र प्रथम का ध्येय वाक्य है, जो हमारा अपने कुल गीत भी सुनते हैं, तो उसको भी थोड़ा थोड़ा ध्यान दें और अपने को कोशिश करें कि हम इस देश में जो भी कुछ कमजोरियां हैं उनको दूर करने के लिए कोई बाहर के लोग नहीं आएंगे, आपने हमने मिलकर करनी है। और एक ऐसा देश बनाना है जिसके ऊपर आने वाली पीढ़ियां गर्व कर सके कि 2026 ऑनवर्ड्स जो 2047 तक की यात्रा है वो कठिन है, परंतु लक्ष्य बड़ा क्लियर अब नजर आ रहा है, स्पष्ट है कि अब हम उसे प्राप्त कर सकते हैं। जिस चीज़ को प्राप्त किया जा सकता है तो थोड़ा स्पीड बढ़ा लें, थोड़ा मोमेंटम बढ़ाएंगे और थोड़ा इनर्शिया को पीछे करेंगे, तो उसको 2047 वाले टारगेट को हम पूरा करने में निश्चित तौर पर सफल होंगे। जितने प्रतियोगी और सब जिन्होंने भाग लिया, जितने वॉलंटियर्स ने भाग लिया, और हमारे जजेस के रूप में कल मिलकर 25-30 लोग अच्छे प्रोफेसर, अच्छे रिटायर्ड न्यायमूर्ति, अच्छे एडवोकेट आए थे और 3-5 बेंच बनाई थी। उन सब ने जो भी निर्णय दिया है वो घोषित होगा और फिर स्टेशन करेंगे और कोशिश करेंगे हम अगले वर्ष जो 7th करेंगे तो वो और अधिक प्रभावी, और अधिक सुंदर हो और हम अधिक से अधिक अच्छे से अच्छे न्याय के क्षेत्र में अपने प्रतिनिधि भेजने में सफल हों। भगवान के सामने आशीर्वाद। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
Saamne
जान मेरी रहे न रहे। ऐ मेरी ज़मीं महबूब मेरी, मेरी नस नस में तेरा इश्क बहे। फीका न पड़े कभी रंग तेरा, जिस्मों से निकल के खून बहे। तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा, गुल बन के मैं खिल जावा। इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू, तेरी नदियों में बह जावा, तेरे खेतों में लहरावा। इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू। जो शहीद हुए हैं उनकी ज़रा याद करो कुर्बानी। ऐ मेरे वतन के लोगों, ज़रा आँख में भर लो पानी। जो शहीद हुए हैं उनकी ज़रा याद करो कुर्बानी। जब घायल हुआ है मारे, खतरे में पड़ी आज़ादी। जब घायल हुआ है मारे, खतरे में पड़ी आज़ादी। जब तक की सांस लड़े वो, जब तक की सांस लड़े वो, फिर अपनी लाश बिछाए। ऐ मेरे वतन के लोगों, ज़रा आँख में भर लो पानी। जो शहीद हुए हैं उनकी ज़रा याद करो कुर्बानी।
मैं वापस आऊँगा, मैं वापस आऊँगा, मैं वापस आऊँगा।
जय हिंद जय हिंद जय हिंद जय हिंद जय हिंद की सेना।
From Waves, Anshuli.
For that Kshetra, the winner is TC14, Kamya Bisht and Mansha, Maharaja Surajmal Institute.
The first runner-up is TC05, Anvesha and Salisha from National Forensic Science Institute. The winner for article writing competition is EP41, Mr. Yash Walia, National Law University, Sonipat.
Mr. Yash Walia, NLU Sonipat. The first runner-up award goes to
For creative writing,
Ms. Sidra Noor.
Sidra Noor from Isabella Coburn College, Lucknow. The best team for extemporary moot court is TC18, Vidhi and Moha, Amity Law School, Noida.
And Mona from Amity Law School, Noida. Congratulations.
For Hindi moot court, the best team prize goes to TC01, Dia Anshika, Trinity Institute.
Priya and Anshita from Trinity Institute. Please come to the stage. Congratulations. The runner-up for Hindi moot court goes to TC03, Amit and Mangesh from Army Institute, Rohtak. Mohali. My apologies. Army Institute, Mohali.
For mock CIRP competition, Revival champions, the winners are Khushi Salanki and Mukti Sharma from USLLS. Khushi Salanki and Mukti Sharma.
The turnaround strategist, that is the runner-up, goes to TC01, Shivam Garg and Manya Sisodia from Symbiosis International University. The Best Resolution Plan Award goes to TC06, Shubham Garg from Keshav Mahavidyalaya, DU. I believe one award was left out. The best speaker for Hindi moot court competition goes to Anurag Upadhyaya. Congratulations, Anurag.
For poetry recitation, the winner is PR19 Dishant from MU Rohtak.
Runner-up position for poetry recitation goes to Akash Sharma, TR29. Akash Sharma. Thank you, everybody. That's all for the prize distribution ceremony.
कार्यक्रम के अंतिम चरण में आगे बढ़ते हुए हम महाराजा अग्रसेन के चेयरमैन आदरणीय श्री विनीत कुमार लोहिया जी को सादर आमंत्रित करना चाहते हैं, जो लोहिया समूह की विरासत को आगे बढ़ाने वाले एक सफल उद्योगपति होने के साथ साथ एक महान समाज सेवी और उच्च शिक्षा जगत के सम्मानित नेतृत्वकर्ता भी हैं। सर, आपसे विनम्र अनुरोध है कि धन्यवाद प्रस्तुत करें।
आदरणीय मुख्य अतिथि माननीय न्यायमूर्ति श्री जितेंद्र कुमार माहेश्वरी जी, आदरणीय डॉक्टर नंदकिशोर गर्ग जी, हमारे सभी माननीय ट्रस्टीगण, निदेशकगण, प्राध्यापकगण, प्रिय विद्यार्थियों एवं उपस्थित सभी सज्जनों, सभी को मेरा सादर प्रणाम। आज का ये मंच केवल एक कार्यक्रम का समापन नहीं है, ये उस विचार का उत्सव है जहां हम संघर्ष नहीं समाधान की बात करते हैं। मैं शुरुआत करना चाहूँगा माननीय न्यायमूर्ति स्वर्गीय जे.एस. वर्मा जी के स्मरण से, उन्होंने हमें सिखाया कि न्याय केवल कानून की किताबों में नहीं बल्कि समाज की आत्मा में होना चाहिए। मैं हमारे मुख्य अतिथि भारत के सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के माननीय न्यायमूर्ति श्री जितेंद्र कुमार माहेश्वरी जी का विशेष रूप से आभार व्यक्त करना चाहूँगा। आपने अपना बहुमूल्य समय देकर इस मंच की गरिमा बढ़ाई तथा आपके अनुभव संपन्न मार्गदर्शन ने हम सभी को गहराई से प्रेरित किया एवं सभी विद्यार्थियों को नई दिशा प्रदान की। आपकी उपस्थिति हमें ये याद दिलाती है कि न्याय केवल निर्णय देने की प्रक्रिया नहीं है बल्कि समाज को संतुलित रखने की जिम्मेदारी है। आज जब हम दुनिया को देखते हैं, एक तरह का मल्टी फ्रंट कॉन्फ्लिक्ट चल रहा है। कहीं युद्ध, कहीं व्यापारिक तनाव, कहीं कूटनीतिक टकराव। ऐसे समय में भारत का जो दृष्टिकोण है वह बहुत संतुलित और परिपक्व है। भारत बार बार यही कहता है, ये समय युद्ध का नहीं संवाद का है और यही एडीआर का मूल है, बातचीत, मध्यस्थता और समाधान। हम अगर अपने समाज की ओर देखें, हाल ही में उत्तम नगर दिल्ली में होली के दौरान जो घटनाएं सामने आई वे हमें सोचने पर मजबूर करती हैं कि कानून और व्यवस्था केवल पुलिस या अदालत की जिम्मेदारी नहीं है, ये हम सबकी साझा जिम्मेदारी है। मैं आदरणीय डॉक्टर नंदकिशोर गर्ग जी का हृदय से धन्यवाद करता हूं। आपने जिस दृष्टिकोण से मैट्स की स्थापना की वह केवल शिक्षा नहीं बल्कि समाज का निर्माण का संकल्प है। आज ये संस्थान विद्यार्थियों को केवल प्रोफेशनल नहीं बल्कि एक जिम्मेदार नागरिक बना रहा है। हमारे सभी दृष्टिगण, आप सभी इस संस्था की मजबूत नींव हैं। आपकी दूरदृष्टि, मार्गदर्शन और निरंतर सहयोग के लिए हम सब आपके आभारी हैं। मैं यहाँ विद्यार्थियों से एक बात कहना चाहूँगा। आज की दुनिया में जानकारी बहुत है लेकिन समझ, अंडरस्टैंडिंग बहुत कम है। एआई आ गया है, टेक्नोलॉजी आगे बढ़ रही है, लेकिन अगर इंसान सुनना और समझना नहीं सीखेगा तो समस्याएं कम नहीं होंगी। और यही इस प्रतियोगिता का सबसे बड़ा लेसन है। सही समय पर सही संवाद सबसे बड़ा समाधान है। मैं निदेशक महोदय, प्राध्यापकगण और पूरी आयोजन समिति का हृदय से धन्यवाद करता हूं। आपने इस आयोजन को सफल, सार्थक और यादगार बनाया। मैं अपनी बात एक विचार के साथ समाप्त करना चाहूँगा। आज की दुनिया को वकीलों के साथ साथ सच्चे समाधानकर्ताओं, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्वर्स की जरूरत है और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है आज यहाँ बैठा हर विद्यार्थी, हर प्रतिभागी इस दिशा में एक मजबूत कदम है। आप सभी का दिल से धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय भारत।